The numbness starts at your lips, a faint tingling like pins and needles after your foot falls asleep. You just finished a small plate of pale translucent slices, fugu, pufferfish, sliced thin enough to see the pattern of the dish through it. You were at a small counter restaurant. The chef trained for years to prepare this fish. Something went wrong. Within the first 30 minutes, the tingling spreads. Your lips, your tongue, the tips of your fingers, you reach for your glass of water. Your hand feels distant, like it belongs to someone else. This is tetrodotoxin, a poison many times more potent than cyanide by weight. It sits mostly in the fish's liver and skin, and even a trace left behind on the flesh is enough. Your nerves send signals to your muscles using tiny channels that let sodium rush into each cell. Tetrodotoxin blocks those channels. One by one, your nerves go quiet. By the 1 hour mark, the numbness has moved past your face. Your arms feel heavy. Your legs feel slow to respond, like walking through water you try to stand. Your balance is off. Something in your inner workings is falling out of sync with your intentions. Inside you, a strange split is happening. Your mind stays sharp. You can hear the restaurant around you. You can think clearly, but the wiring between your brain and your muscles is failing section by section. This is one of the cruelest features of tetrodotoxin poisoning. Consciousness often remains intact even as the body shuts down. 90 minutes in, your speech starts to slur, your jaw doesn't quite obey you. Swallowing becomes difficult, saliva pools in the back of your throat, your diaphragm, the muscle that pulls air into your lungs, runs on the same sodium channels as everything else. It is starting to weaken 2 hours in, your breathing has become shallow, each breath takes more effort than the last, your chest doesn't rise the way it should. This is the point where the poison becomes lethal, not because it touches the heart directly, but because it silences the muscles that keep you breathing. Without help, this is where the timeline for many historical fugu poisonings ends. Complete paralysis, followed by respiratory failure, while awareness remains. Doctors call this a locked-in state. The mind fully present, the body no longer answering. If you're lucky, you're already in an emergency room. A tube is placed down your throat. A ventilator takes over the job your diaphragm can no longer do. Your heart, for now, keeps beating on its own rhythm. Because cardiac muscle has slightly different channel behavior and often holds out longer than skeletal muscle. This buys time. There is no antidote for tetrodotoxin. There's only support keeping oxygen moving through a body that cannot move itself until the poison clears. By hour 6, if you have made it this far with support, your body has started a slow, quiet negotiation. Tetrodotoxin does not bind permanently. It blocks the channels, but the block is temporary, and your liver and kidneys are already working to filter the toxin from your blood. Case reports on fugu poisoning describe patients fully paralyzed for 24 to 50 hours who recover completely once the toxin clears, with no lasting nerve damage because the channels themselves were never destroyed. Only jammed by day 2, if you were supported through the worst of it, small movements return first, a twitch in a finger, a flicker of movement in your eyelid. The channels no longer blocked, start firing again. Nerve signal by nerve signal, your body is handed back to you. Movement returns roughly in the reverse order it left the muscles that failed last, often wake up first. This is why pufferfish preparation is licensed and regulated in Japan, where chefs train for years and take exams before they are allowed to serve it. The species contains no toxin of its own manufacture. It accumulates tetrodotoxin from bacteria in its diet, concentrating it in specific organs. The trained eye is taught to remove entirely. What tetrodotoxin exposes is something true of every nervous system, not just one poisoned by pufferfish. Your entire ability to move, speak, and breathe depends on the coordinated wave of sodium rushing through channels in your nerve membranes. Billions of times a second, mostly without you ever noticing it is happening. Local anesthetics used at the dentist work on a related principle, blocking those same kinds of channels just locally and just for an hour. What happened to you at that counter was that principle applied to your entire body at once. Your lips went numb first because that is exactly where the toxin entered and exactly where the channels were first overwhelmed. That tingling you feel sometimes when your foot falls asleep or when your hand goes numb overnight. It is the same channels briefly interrupted on a scale small enough that you barely register it as anything more than an inconvenience.